It's time to know what really happened to them. So, this complex energy that is surrounding this situation is something that maybe happened years ago. It could have been a recent thing as well. So, this is your daily reading. And so, this is some energy that's going to come up for today. It could be things that have to do with today, it could be things that you're working on internally. So, just take what you need and leave what you don't. Keep an open mind for what you need. And also, I'm hoping that this bring some resolution. So basically, this is giving me vibes of a community friendship group. And so the curiosity here is what happened. So, what really happened to these people after they left your life or you left their life? And so there's an indication here of wanting to have boundaries. There's an indication here that it was taken weirdly, that you exerted boundaries or that you wanted to take care of yourself. There's this kind of idea that you have this energy about you that is just like you can do anything. And I think because you have that energy of you can do anything, it's really easy for people to not assume that you need rest. So the vibe that came across initially was at least this person, or it could be people, but at least this person felt almost like cold, and they feel like a different person. They don't feel like who they used to be, but it's in a very unevolved way. So this person becomes different. They become a little bit harder in the guise for themselves that they are somehow mature, that their experience with you has matured them. But it's actually not maturing. They never wanted to face the fact that they owe you an apology, they owe you a phone call, they owe you a lot because of how much weight you had in their life. So, at least for this particular person, they really can't see it. And so they developed a whole different personality having have known you. That for them they think it's stronger, but it's it's a bit more toxic, and the toxicity is not it's not like this person is just running around just wreaking havoc. It's not that. It's they never really dealt with the issues that made them treat you the way that they did. And because of that, they are kind of stuck in this continuous cycle with themselves. And so you really actually were not supposed to be in their life for a very long time because it just came with way too many sacrifices. The sacrifices that you were making was your own happiness, your own health, your own purpose, your own balance. This person, and again, it could be people, but this is the first person that's coming up in the reading. They just needed a lot. And, before I call them an energy vampire, it's not that. It's more like a child and a parent. They just were emotionally needy and they put all of their eggs in one basket, you. And because they put all their eggs in one basket, they felt safe with you. They felt like whenever there was a situation, you were the 100% dependable person. They could deal with things, they could work things out, they could figure things out mentally with you. Even if you have nothing to do with whatever the different situations are, they just felt that way about you. There was so many things about you that they admired. They genuinely did. They looked up to you, but you're not the type of person that looks down to people. You're the type of person that allows everyone to be on the same level, and so they love that about you. So when you needed time for yourself, when you needed to work on yourself, when you were just like them, like you needed time and rejuvenation, and maybe you were not emotionally needy, but maybe you just needed people to give you grace or people to just kind of give you your space. They took that and they ran with it because you were holding that place for them so long. They lacked a sense of emotional maturity when it came to that. So they really just kind of fumbled you and sabotaged it. over and over and over and over again. And so you'll always have a special place in their heart. Now, if this is resonating in more of a romantic way and less of a friendship way, maybe a relationship that you were socially seen by, you everybody knew you all, it wasn't kind of a secret thing, but or that you all were kind of, out and about. It could also be that this is just giving me strong energy of as you grew stronger, this person, even though you all haven't seen each other, you all haven't interacted, they become like a dark mirror, and not in a evil kind of way, just in a they look at you for inspiration. They are trying to mimic you. But what happens on the outside is not an indication all the time of what's happening on the inside. For example, you see somebody and they look super happy, and you're like, this person is happy all the time, and they tell you they're not happy. You're confused. You're like, I see all these pictures, I see how you are all the time, but they're saying on the inside, I'm not happy. So they're like, when I said that the parent-child relationship, you're the parent, they're the child, they're mirroring you. So as you are developing yourself, as you are working on yourself, as you are growing, as you are walking into your confidence, you'll stand up, and your presentation on the outside is a reflection of how you feel on the inside. They haven't figured out how to do that yet. So they're just trying to mirror on the outside, and they still feel warped. And so this is going to take time for them, if they ever do. And one thing that becomes apparent over time is that not everyone always evolves. Not everyone is meant to evolve in every level. Sometimes people are just here to struggle with other people for clarity. But you left that struggle. And because you left that struggle, you chose yourself. This is not really a story about them and them finally realizing how they wronged you. This is a story about you, and you doing what you needed to do in order to work on yourself. And it felt almost like you were blindsided by the way that they reacted. You did not see this coming. You were like, how would someone that you treated so well just, treat you like that? Because they were never well. They were very unwell. And you may have not known it because you are maybe optimistic, or maybe you just give people the benefit of the doubt, or when you care about someone, you're not going to look at them in a negative way, or maybe, an indication of fighting their battles for them. They're so used to you helping them get through everything that, once you become the problem, they now have all this energy to fight you like you were the issue behind everything. So this is an indication of a person with a lack of boundaries. This is an indication also of just moving on. Sometimes in your relationships in life, romantic, platonic, community, can even be family, there's an ebb and flow. There's a freedom and release. And if we do not let people go, and if people don't let us go when it's our time to go experience some other things, it makes it really difficult for us to potentially come back. For example, if there is a love that you have and it's just not working out between you all, and you all need some distance, the more you hold on, or the more they hold on to you and suffocate the relationship, the more that you all will ruin all the happiness that you did have in the past, as well as it's likely that you all will never get back together. Or if you do, it's just you cannot get over all the trauma you caused each other. But if you all, from like an emotionally balanced perspective, say this is no longer good for either one of us, we're going to free each other, we're going to let each other be, it's going to be uncomfortable, it opens up space for you to actually have romantic relationships that are healthy for you. Them too, it opens up the space for you all to heal, because people sometimes diverge and go in different directions, and there's different kind of people you need. So don't get stuck on thinking that you need this person from today to always be with you when you're going in that direction and they're going in this direction. But you never know. Sometimes people will go and they'll do the work, and then you all can come back to each other, but in a more mature way. But the more that you hold on and you just grip it for dear life, the more that it sabotages everything. Same thing when it comes to friendships, not giving your friends grace. This is actually even more important than relationships. Your friendships are not people that you own. Your friendships are not people that you are can control. These are people that should freely be able to come in and out your life. Now, you all both need to have dynamics that you feel comfortable with. Like if you or they like to communicate a lot, or you or they are the opposite and don't like to communicate, that's going to be tough. There has to be something else in your dynamic that keeps you going, or it's going to be dissonant. But you cannot force, and they cannot force you to go to the other side. If you care about someone, you might, communicate a little bit more, but it should be within your boundaries. If, they care, they might give you a little bit more space, or vice versa. But it should be within their boundaries. As long as your dynamics with each other are within each other's boundaries, then that's good. But see, that's what people are like not understanding. They want to force things, and they want both people to feel uncomfortable to force it. That's not what a friendship is. A friendship are people who decide over time, I'm talking about 5, 10, 15, 20 years, that they still like each other, that they're not controlling each other, that they're, supportive of each other, whether they are in or out of that person's everyday life. Some people are too young to even know that. And for the people who are not young, some people are so stuck in their ways to see that. Your friendship is not your romantic relationship, okay? Your friendship is not a place where you come to work out all your issues because you couldn't work out in other places. Your friends aren't your therapist. They might be a good ear from time to time, and they are that for you, but they are not that. So don't put all of that there. Put things in their appropriate situation. And overall, I'm getting the vibe that this is something that but this is something that they may not know. And that has nothing to do with you. So the way that it looks over time is you are still elevating, you are still growing. Even if you have your own things that you're working through in your life, all they see is this just magical person. And instead of even just being happy for you from afar, like, yeah, it didn't work out for us, but you know what? I'm happy for them, or good for them, or that's nice. It just ticks them off. Like it makes them angry. Sometimes they obsess about you. Sometimes, or if they try to like push you out their mind, you just continue to pop up. Because while the surface level appears to be something that someone jealous would do, it's deeper than that. It is like losing your protector. They felt like you were their protector, and they lost you, and they no longer feel like they're under the protection of you. So it made them super cold and super bitter. Everything that's happening in life, they add a little bit of you're responsible. Not that you did it, but you used to protect them, and now you don't. That why would you be that mean to them? They take zero responsibility or accountability for the emotional, for their emotional maturity, but for their actions, for they put everything into you. Honestly, it's giving like idolized stalker like type of thing, that once you left or you changed the dynamics, that they then turned on you. They worshiped you, but in a way that it was very internal, and they didn't know. And so you're on the up and up. And I would love to say that it's like you're on the up and up. They'll have to figure it out, or whatever. But there's still a feeling within you that you did care about this person. So what that is telling me is that, hey, just understand that not everyone deserves your feelings or your love. They were a lesson for you as well. That when you open yourself up to care about somebody, romantic, friendship, whatever, that even if they do you wrong, there's still a part of you that cares. So you have to have more discernment in the future that not everyone deserves your love, so that you are not years later thinking, wow, I still want to give this person the benefit of the doubt. You don't need to open your love to everyone. You need to respect others. They need to respect you. You need to take your time. They need to take your time. It takes time to be in love with someone. It takes time to be genuine friends. Now, having fun friends, I think people don't understand the difference. There are different types of friends. There are different types of stages of dating. If you're just having a good time, it doesn't mean you're disrespecting people or lying to people when you're dating. It just means I'm getting to know you. I'm assuming that other people are getting to know you too, and vice versa. And you can't think that someone is just sitting somewhere waiting for you, or you should be sitting and waiting for some person. And then once y'all get to know each other, y'all have a good time. Like, you're upset that they dated someone you just met them 2 weeks ago. Like, that doesn't make sense. No, dating is you take your time, okay? But you have a good time. You take your time, and if you all continue to choose each other, if you're able to, share a little vulnerability, they share a little vulnerability, and you feel safe, that is how you build what you need to build. It's not, I feel so good, I don't want to let this go, I'm afraid to let this go, and I'm trying to force my way, or they're doing the same, or dynamics like that. It's not that at all. It's you all enjoy being with each other, and you all are choosing each other over time. And when you all come together to want to be more serious, if that's what this is, then it goes in that direction. And it's also a do no harm type of thing. It's the same thing with friends too. You might see the potential in people, that's dating as well, but the potential is not the reality. There are many smart, intelligent, talented people you will meet throughout your life. There are some people that you might even really like, and you might say, oh, they inspire me. But if they cannot get past their moment, it doesn't mean that they're going to become all that they could aspire to be. If you are getting past the moments of discomfort, the moments of setbacks, then you are who you are. So understand that a lot of times when people are looking at you, they see you for who you are. They're not seeing you for the potential, but you might be seeing people for the potential of who they are in order to level them out with you, in order for them to have a place. You're very loving, you're very kind, you're very understanding, and you're very strong. And for people who are not ready to be there in their life yet, that will bring out insecurities in them. They'll feel amazing around you. And if you see this constant loop going on in different friendships, different relationships, different this, different that, family dynamics, then this is teaching you a lesson of see people for who they are. And when you see these people for who they are, like this person that's coming across, see them for who they were then and who they are now. You wouldn't have liked them as much. You wouldn't have, you might have still been cool, but you wouldn't have given them that much space within you. So it's just a life lesson. You'll never not have once cared because you're an authentic and genuine person. But this person did not do well, and not doing well doesn't mean that this person is just destitute somewhere. It's just they didn't learn. But the question is, are you going to learn? Are you going to learn from these dynamics? You cannot love everybody. You cannot you cannot have everybody in your circle. But also that doesn't mean that you self-isolate and you're a hermit. It's not just on and off. It's like a continuum. It's a spectrum of things. People have to work their way to be in your life, just like you have to work your way to be into other people's life. And that work is not hard. That work is just over time to see if it's natural. Non-controlling, freedom. That there are emotionally calm relationships. And what you'll notice is that there will be people that you really like who will be pulled into drama relationships. And you got to let them be pulled there. You got to let them be pulled there. There will be other people who maybe want to be a little bit more aggressive or force you into certain things. And you got to keep them where they're at. Over time, we'll see. And if you feel these things within yourself to do to others, to relax. But there will be some people who, as they're doing their life, they're learning their lessons. They might know, I can't do all that mess with you. I might have to work this out with other people, but I can't do this with you. So when I show up in your life, it's just peace. And give people the grace. People don't have to show up being perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Everybody is living out their stories and figuring it out. Maybe you're still living out your stories and figuring it out too. But just coming with patience, just coming with peace, and moving towards that. Let me tell you something. Peace is always a calm mindset. That doesn't mean you're sitting around and you're being bored. It's just, it's not getting into trauma drama or anything like that. And those people will always be there. And you have free will to hold on to that, or hold on to these people, or to move in that direction. But the people who will actually be pulling you are the trauma drama, or are the heroes. Somebody want to save you, you want to save them. That's who's going to be pulling on you. But use your free will to walk forward. Don't think that the people pulling on you are the people who actually care about you more than the people who are just creating peace, and you are creating peace as well. So that's what came up for what really happened to them. Rest assured, you don't have to worry about this person anymore. Think about the dynamics you have with people going on in the future, and I just see only bright things for you. Learn the lessons. Choosing yourself was not the wrong answer, and you saw this all the way through so that you would not ever have a doubt in the future if you came across a similar situation of how to move. And I see you as growing and continuing to evolve. And it's good that this person is not in your life, because they would have definitely held you back. So still a lot of energy coming through, but I'm going to leave you here.